All right, so we are back. So can you ask me the question again?
So you have DeSantis, who has called on the state legislature to target Disney's self-governing special status for termination, and so he wants to have it terminated because of their response to the legislation that was passed a couple of weeks ago. And the law gives Disney special status, and it's been in place for 55 years. And with that special status, they have been able to get around a lot of regulations in the county. So this is really a privileged situation, and DeSantis says that no business should have this kind of privilege. Come to think of it, so what do you think? Did Disney shoot themselves in the foot with their response?
Um, I think like what DeSantis say, no company should have privilege at all. If there's one company have privilege, the other one should have too. It's not just because of this or that. However, if they are special case for a special reason, then that's a different story. But it cannot be 50 years. 50 years is too long. If I have 50-year privilege, my business will be huge already. You know, it's not fair for other business have to compete with a big giant company when they have a privilege.
But they've had a big advantage because they've even have exemptions on their copyright, so that they've had their copyright extended long beyond the law for copyrights.
Yeah.
And so no one knew this until this issue came up, right?
Yeah, so I know about the copyright and protection of patent and all stuff like that. I kind of know a few years back, but the way of Disney doing, they try to buy the copyright with different way so they can keep it because I think the all the copyright have limited of timing, but Disney have some trigger to able to buy the copyright to protect their brand. I mean, but the privilege that Disney have is not about the copyright because copyright when you create develop something, is you want to protect that for a good reason like for to protect America, to protect the children, stuff like that. But now Disney is going so wrong way. They go wrong direction. Is for me, it's not protect the children anymore, protect a brand anymore. Because if they really want a brand, they protect the brand and the children. They won't have thing like what happened in the last two
So
week.
if you're a business owner, so walk me through what I mean, isn't it about your brand first? Because why would you make a decision like this? I mean, it
So
just seemed like it wasn't well thought through, or was it?
so for a big giant like Disney, the brand is everybody when they start to do business, the brand is very important. But for a startup, the brand is not that important. It's the business is more important than the brand. Everybody when they start a business, they would think they have a dream about their brand. The business concept is more than a business brand. But company like Disney, the brand has become more important because everybody know Disney. I mean, worldwide. When you talk about, you ask any little kid around the world, say about Disney, they all know it. And a lot of people they going to take a kid to Disney. So Disney is very sensitive. I mean, very sensitive for kid because they will learn everything from Disney because it's easy for kid to get anything all the information when it was young. It's better than when they get old. So for the business side of it, I think Disney, as a business owner or a business investor, they don't want to damage the brand to hurt their money because Disney now they're making money because of brand the Mickey Mouse, all the cartoon character and all stuff like that. They make money over the brand. If anything has a word Disney on it, they make money. So business investor or business owner or the board member, of course, they don't want to damage their brand. Like for me, if I start a small business, I don't care much about my brand because I can create another brand real quick if my business strategy is working. But it depends too. because business strategy is your dream for when to start up something. A name, it's just something is you want to make something sound nice or better or good like that. Now, if you have a small business, you will control the business more because you own the business, you know what you're doing. But big like Disney, and especially they are in California. So
So you think this was decision was made out of California,
the
not here in
decision
Florida?
is more or less the decision is made in California. In California, as I have a lot of left side radical left work for Disney, and they're like what I say from the previous episode, my previous discussion, that the people, the dramatic, create more problem, more damage than the people who actually thoughtful. So now, if Disney have to pick and choose, if people do the protest, they have to apply paperwork. So this Disney have done. I think they do all the calculation already. So
So you think that they knew that? I mean,
they
they're not
know
surprised by this?
what way they have to choose.
So you
So
think that they knew that they would lose $2 billion up to this point?
well, they might because they have all the great analyzer, business promotion. They have everything on the table before they pick and choose too. They not just go out and say this and that. Now, if they go with this path, the Disney might lost $2 billion, right? Is it $2 billion? But if they go another path, the Disney might lose more, and they don't have employees. So bottom line is about employees. You don't see any employee problem. But now, if Disney choose the other direction, even if they want to, they will have employee protests, not about the people protest. The employee protest and everything is freed up.
So let me get this right. So they've allowed the employees to drive them off of a cliff.
Because
Is that what you're saying?
yeah, because right now, maybe I'm not sure because I'm not their board. I'm not their a member of it. I don't have stock of Disney, so I don't know what exactly internal. But everything they have done calculation. It doesn't matter. Like if you're a businessman or you operate a business, it doesn't matter what party that you are with. Is matter of how my business is maintained. Because when I have a business, I have to make sure my business is maintained. I'm not like put my personal reference on who I like and who I vote for. And a lot of a company in California is had too many radical left create problem and create noise. So if the same business, if they move to Florida or Texas, they will respond differently because the employees. So Disney, I don't want to say good or bad about Disney. I'm talking about a standpoint of investor and business owner. They don't want to hurt their business, but before anything happen, they have to, straightforward. When the virus has happened, right? And I know personally, I don't support masks. I don't care about the mask, and I don't wear masks. But I had to put a sign on my windows for please wear masks because my employee and a customer. For me, I don't care. So now I use myself at the same opinion that if Disney they have to pick and choose. So now how we make this stop is how the leadership solution is not. I'm not talking about like Disney leadership. I'm talking about American, the president, the governor. It's very important how they control it, how they make it happen, how they solve the problem.
They're going to have to, because you have all of these companies that are woke companies. Do you think they're making an example of Disney?
Well, yeah, I mean they because the employees is a big deal too.
Right.
So employee will make a big deal to any business. It's not only about Disney.
So it can have an effect on other
And then
companies
and
too.
other country, and then I won't I have to say who know is the person behind that. It can be some other country lobbyists behind that, or some group of people who want power or something behind that, because we don't know anything behind the scene until things get more in a public city.
So what do you think? So you're Walt Disney. You create this. Say
Hmm.
you're alive today. His empire has maybe on the verge of crumbling.
Yes.
They're killing themselves. What would you do?
Well, see, like what I say, if I had if I'm an owner Disney and I have that many year, for my personally, when I have enough of what I want, is about the people and about the right thing. Yes, I might lose more money on create a problem, but so what? I can shut it down.
So you this is you think they're thinking that they're doing this because they're in California and they have all of these employees who believe that this is the right thing.
Yes. So because the leadership of Disney right now is care more about the money over the brand and the employee and protest and things like that. And they don't care about human right and the pupil and the kid and stuff like that. And because of they get influenced, maybe some of the leadership in Disney, they are one of the problem too. Remember the original Disney. Like when I'm starting to run for Congress, I can shut down if as soon as I select for to be a congressman, I can shut down my restaurant. I don't care because what I'm doing for the people, and I'm already have that. Like before I make a decision of running, I of course I have to protect my business, but at the same time, everybody mandatory everywhere. But I have to go with the government required. That's what government require. But as soon as the government remove it, I remove it. I don't care. I don't care about my customer.
Mhm.
I mean, as soon as the government remove, I don't care. I don't put any mass mandatory. I remove the paper and stuff like that. I don't care. If a government don't put a hammer on me, I'm care for what I think is right.
So how does Disney, as we wind this down, how does Disney walk this back? Is it possible for them to walk it back?
It's if I manage Disney, yes, I can walk it back.
How?
So there's many different way that family people who go Disney is the family going Disney, not the worker. Yes, I can shut down a few, right? But I make people feel Disney engage with family. So instead of if they want to protest, go ahead. It's okay. We already take a loss. It's damaged one way or the other way. But what is remain with Disney is the kid and the family. So yes, I can instead of lost $2 billion, I can lose $10 billion. But it's worth it for your loss. Disney is not a business that in a chapter 7 or 11. You know if they really for the pupil, they can sell product. Pupil will support Disney by buying a product online. So if I own Disney, I say, okay, Disney stand for kid and family. If all the employee who protest Disney, they can leave Disney. We okay. And Disney, if I'm running Disney, I will ask pupil, family, kid, support Disney to keep their business operate by just buying product online to keep the business maintenance the business to this time. I guarantee you, Billboard will put more money to buy product for Disney because Disney stand up for the people and for the kid.
Hmm.
I don't know why they choose the other path.
Well, they doubled down too. The granddaughter of Walt Disney came out and made
Now,
something that made it worse.
now I also say there are some Disney person they don't care because that's who they are. They already rich and wealthy. So if I own Disney, it's different. But the Disney right now is by family member. by board member. They don't create a brand. So like what I say, when I create a brand, when I'm small, my concept and idea is more important than a brand. But when the brand become big, the brand is more important than my concept and idea. Now is the brand. Everybody go for the brand. If I own Disney, I will protect the brand.
So if you're in Congress, you have the opportunity to vote on this kind of legislation as to whether a company should get these kind of privileges. Should they?
They shouldn't have any kind of privilege at all. If every company have to have if you cannot special on one company to treat one company different in another company, because everybody work hard for their brand, they work hard for their business. And why it have to be a privilege when they try to make money? Yes, everybody have different. If you have a special privilege for, okay, because Disney is doing something for kids, if they do, put it this way, even they specialize like kid, like support kid and donate a lot of money to kid, if they do, and they protect the kid and stuff like that, if they do, and government give a privilege for them because they have so many kids and pupil and job and stuff like that, they should lost by now because they don't do to support kid anymore, to help the kid to for family anymore. They go in the wrong direction. So the privilege is have to be removed immediately, because it's not about family and kid anymore. So people know Disney because of kid and family. Universal Studio, they are do the same thing, but they don't. They know. I mean, they don't think it's more like a big of family and kid. It's more like teenager, adult, and stuff, adventure and thing like that. But when you talk about Disney, it's like kid and family. So if they really protect the kid and they have some kind of privilege to keep the company to help the kid, that's a different case. But now they don't. So remove the privilege. They shouldn't have
There you have it. What's your website, Tuan?
Okay.
To go on and contribute.
My website is 20forcongress.com, and please go into my website. I have a website down on right on the screen to donate for my campaign, because our team is working hard every day to looking for any donation. So any donation will help us, and we will run a campaign in Orlando and over the area, and we look forward for your support. We need your help. Please help me to get the fundraise, so we can have more fun and budget to win this race, because I want American first, and I'm work for the people. It's not about me, it's the people. Please donate to my campaign, and thank you, Kevin, and hopefully that you're gonna have a vacation, have a trip to somewhere.
Yeah, for a few days at least.
Okay, so well, I will see you next week.
We look
But
forward